beginning of Belletin, well, end of Belletin, but the day
He's
after.
at the house feeding his hangover. Got an
As you can
invite,
see, the
too,
party
I
was
think.
wild.
Is Geralt
It even had
hangover?
an effect on Geralt.
Can he get hangover?
Woman.
I mean,
No,
he can
not
get
really.
tired.
He can be tired,
Yeah.
but
Strange
in
as
classic
dreams go.
form, you lose a friend on a big night
What
out.
was that girl?
That's exactly
It's
the
usually
deal.
everyone else who gets a hangover.
But yeah, we just talked about how important Belletin is, but can we actually go back to like the very basics? So when and where the story takes place without like big spoilers.
Without big spoilers. Let's start with where. So,
I can talk about the where, exactly.
okay.
Let's go.
So it's the whole thing plays out in Letten, which is the birthplace of Dandelion. It's in the north, somewhere halfway between Covid and Cadeven, for all you map nerds out there. If you go to the Gulf of Praxeda and take the Buina River to the east and take a right on the Nimnar River, on the other southern shore of the Nimnar, you will find this lovely place that you get to
Thinking
have a
sounds
beautiful
kinda
glimpse
familiar.
about. But it's in the north if
Maybe.
you want the shorts, the LDR version.
So I guess we can now go to when.
So, the events of third expansion unravel after Geralt hoped to retire at Corvo Bianco, but then yet another adventure unveils. So this is what I would share for now. And then, of course, he has a good reason why.
Basic story, the basic outline has some really, really great vision elements that we want to cater to, but also enable the player side of exploration, not just the story side of exploration. So we are an open world RPG, and we are going to stay true to that in Songs of the Past as well. And we want to make sure that you are enabled to explore, but guided gently towards elements of the story so you can still experience it as we sort of intend, but in your own pace, if you understand what I'm saying. So it's directed, but gently, and lets you engage in open world activities while you're already invested in a greater storyline unfolding. So it's still up to you, but nicely framed. And this, I think, was one of the biggest challenges still, which was the biggest challenge in the original game as well.
And I guess on that, Peter, what, as players are sort of taking in the world and the architecture and all the work that the team has done, what's something that you really hope that they'll get to see and immerse themselves in, and maybe like the finer details?
Well, there's going to be a lot of beautiful stuff and a lot of characteristics that you can experience, and they are going to be obvious. But I would like the players to pay attention to the second layer of this whole world, which is the level design intention. I'm speaking towards my department, of course, because there's a lot of goodwill and greatly skilled intention behind every single pebble, every single asset placed to basically enable what we mentioned earlier, this kind of gentle guidance to make sure that you see everything that we intended you to see, but still let you roam free in the most convenient and accessible manner. So whenever you're on any path, you're enjoying any interior castle, dungeon, anything that you engage with, if you have a moment to appreciate all the good intent, the framing, the composition, the colors, the lighting, do yourself a favor and pay attention to that, because there's a lot of professional skill and effort that went into every square centimeter of this new world.
Yeah, I think while we traverse through Letten, could you tell us more about the inspiration? Because I already see in comments that it looks like Italy, it looks different than what we're used to. So maybe a few words about creation of Letten.
Right, so we still wanted to keep this character of Letten that is very close to our fond childhood memories of holidays spent at grandma and grandpa in the countryside. So when exploring Letton, when entering Letton, you should feel that from the get-go, right? This is a very calm land, an idyllic land, a rich one, but also mornings are fresh, right? You can see the crisp light traveling on all the vegetation and like shining on you through the leaves, and you can actually feel it that it's peaceful, it's there. So it's familiar for the Polish countryside, I would say, but also, as we can see right now, we also took some inspirations from British Isles when it comes to architecture, and it has a further connection to the lore, to the story of this place, because Dandelion, whose family is the owner of the land, they are counts, right? So as we were looking for something connected with the title, and it has many rooms and corridors, so there is a lot of explore and many secrets.
Okay,
Secrets.
so far we showed you a little bit of the sunny Letton, but it also has woods,
Oh yes.
dark woods,
Lots of it, yes.
lots of dark woods. Can we maybe talk about how you guys approach designing this contrast between super sunny village and then dark forest with like fog and all that mystery around?
Yeah, this was an exceptionally tricky thing to pull off, and I bet it's the trickiest part of every game that tries to illustrate values through contrast, is how to blend like one extreme into the other extreme. But with clever framing, composition, and distancing and density and encounters and community design and every single component, it's manageable. But you have to be mindful, of course, how you conduct the journey there, how you can end up from one place to another like accidentally, and make sure that the things do not happen like that unless you intend them to happen like that. So it is kind of tricky, but it requires a lot of testing and a lot of iteration, of course, and subtle play with colors and, of course, expectations, how you set up a certain mood with shapes that bleed out into the surrounding environment a little bit sooner, just to like set the mind in that kind of mood earlier with a smooth transition. So everything happens in good rhythm and pacing.
Yeah, beautiful.
In different combats. So I would say depending on what your playstyle is, but our main, main focus in creating a boss fight is to always create a challenge for you. So yeah.
We have a little glimpse of Swarmions again. Boom!
Getting beheaded. That's my favorite finisher right there.
More Swarmions. I don't think I'm gonna like those guys.
Yeah, a little
Yeah.
freaky.
Well, it is in the name, Swarmions. They swarm you, right? So there's gonna be a lot of them.
Being too in depth, got something that you're just cannot wait for people to experience?
I mean, Kuba stole my answer. Like,
No, I didn't steal it. It's just the same answer.
May remember back from Witcher 1 days, back into the game.
Well, as you mentioned, it was already showcased in Witcher 1 trailer ages ago, and it's something that has been popping up since that moment. Like, there were various attempts on realizing the chain and Geralt having been able to fight with it. But, when the Songs of the Past started development, it just felt like a natural addition that finally we have the moment and capabilities to add it. Few things have to happen, like stars had to align, and Ubisoft help was needed as well for preparing the remaster, because there wasn't an option to add the chain before without doing this little tweaks and fixes for the combat itself, because otherwise it would be just too clunky, frustrating, and not really any help. Whereas now, after the changes that Moritz will in a second probably deep dive into, it's a very cool crowd control weapon.
All right. And I guess on this, so how does the chain sort of change the flow of combat compared to the use of swords and signs, which we're more used to?
Well, it's a weapon that you equip in the same slot as the crossbow, basically, and it kind of reuses some of the mechanics. So as you've seen on the clip out there, you can aim at an enemy. There are some weak spots that appear. We're gonna talk about it in a second. But basically, the aiming is similar to the crossbow. Time slows down. You can decide which weak spot you wanna target, and then after you release the chain, you bring the enemy to you. And if you tap attack in the right time window, you're gonna execute a finisher, like we've seen over here.
Wow.
With the
So cool.
with the beheading. That's my favorite one. But that's not all. Chain is also a very fast weapon, a really good tool for crowd controlling. So if you have like a group of enemies, a swarm of swarmians swarming you, you can basically use the chain to break up the group, bring one up to you, land a few hits, dodge back, use another chain on another one, and keep it rolling, basically. It's a very fluid and cool weapon. I love it.
So chain is essentially a ranged weapon, like you mentioned. It's taking the crossbow spot. So I cannot have both chain and crossbow, correct?
Yes, you cannot have them equipped at the same time.
So I think I'm gonna go with chain, not crossbow, because I always had issues with crossbow. With the aim, I'm sorry, I'm very...
She touches us both. Be not afraid.
Didn't say I was afraid.
Come, sword being of beasts. Delve into darkness and see the truth of Letton's beauty.
Garden demands blood, so we'll give it blood.